What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. We are home. The car is safe in the garage. It survived Drift Week, but the story's not quite over yet. There's still a little bit more I got to tell you about that actually happened on Drift Week. So I'm going to kind of talk about it as I play some clips that happened a few days ago. This story actually starts, almost 2 months ago. So when I first found out that I got accepted into Drift Week and I was like committed to making it happen, I had told my buddy Bailey, who I kind of did most of this trip with, that at the end of it all, the last stop was in Utah, and I really wanted to go visit Cage Kits. It's no secret that I really want to cage the Z at some point. And Rob Parsons with Cage Kits, I love what he's doing. It's so cool. It's the way to go, in my opinion. If you guys aren't familiar, he basically builds roll cages and sends them out to you on a pallet, pre-cut, pre-bent, marked, and pretty much ready just to slap in a car and weld. Really cool. And I like his product so much, I wanted to go out of my way to meet the guy and to tell him, hey, I want to work with you because I really want a cage. So that was like 2 months ago. Fast forward to actual Drift Week, the last day, Bailey says, hey, we should try to go to Cage Kits. I know they're close by. He had totally forgotten the conversation we had, thought it was his idea. And I was like, oh, you remember the conversation? He was like, what conversation? So anyways, we were both on the same wavelength there. So I was like, okay, this is a good sign. But how are we going to do it? We were struggling to find their address online, and I was like, do I really just want to show up and hope somebody's there? Lo and behold, as we were packing up at the track on the last day of Drift Week, the main fabricator for Cage Kits showed up at the track and was going around asking Drift Week people, hey, you want to come get a tour of Cage Kits? And believe it or not, everybody said no. Most people were like, nah, I'm tired. It's been a long trip, blah, 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 this and that. And when he came over and started talking to us, of course, I was like, yes, absolutely. This is exactly what I was talking about. I wanted to do. So we loaded up the car, loaded up the truck, got everything ready to go. Thankfully, it was on our way out of town anyways. And that's where this clip starts.
All right, Drift Week may be over, but the adventure's not. We're on a little side quest here. We actually met one of the guys from Cage Kits at the track, and he said, hey, follow me on over. I'd love to give you a tour. So we are headed to Cage Kits. I'll show you guys around when we get there.
Could be yours, Tony.
Which one? Point at it.
What do you say, 1001?
Way up yonder.
Way up there.
I didn't do a whole lot of talking while we were actually there. It was a lot to soak in. That place is so cool. So much technology behind all of it, which was really cool to see. A lot of computer ran stuff and robot ran stuff and just some neat things. Like I said, I really like the way he's doing business and kind of changing the way that people see fabrication work, like roll cages and stuff. I think it's really cool.
So everything's part numbered. We're definitely getting a lot better with part numbers.
FRS front base plate, passenger side.
Yep.
Driver's side base plate.
This will be a main. It looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
It looks nice. Started in So we'll do like a first article, and then once the first article's built, say, okay, it checks out.
Where in Colorado were you?
Colorado Springs.
Nice area. Pretty.
Yeah. It's actually kind of affordable compared to where I'm at in California. Everything's affordable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so this is the basically how they come. We get the stack. So basically, if you are ready to go, what we do is we get scanned, bring us a car, firewall, cowl,
read what that says? Z33. Coming home. There she is, ready to get loaded up. You're good.
Make sure you get that good one. Is this open?
And after about an hour and a half of chatting, him showing us around, we shook hands on a deal, and like you saw in that last clip, we loaded up a roll cage for the Z in the bed of Bailey's truck, and it's home with me now. So that'll be some content you can look forward to.
Launching stuff with the laser.
So you've been building roll cages for how many years?
Oh. 2000, I don't know. We're gonna go at least 15.
So every cage kit's
How
kit
old am I?
is designed by
36.
He's a real
Yeah.
cage builder first, adding technology on
Yeah.
after, not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. No, I did everything I put in my effort to get to where I was, learn the ins and outs of how to do it the regular way. But we're in 2023 and computers exist, and we're going to use them to make our lives easier.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Absolutely. You're welcome. Thanks for buying the cages.
Thank you, man.
Good luck on
Appreciate
Drift
it so
Week.
much.
I hope it was fun.
So huge thank you to Rob Parsons and the whole gang over there at Cage Kits. They were so nice and welcoming just to let us into their shop, show us around, show us how everything works, and then for us to be able to shake hands and walk out of there with the roll cage was seriously surreal. Before I even bought this car, I already knew when it comes time to caging it, he's the man I want to talk to. That's the cage I want. And it was really cool to be able to do the deal in person and actually see all the work that goes into building one of these cages. So again, huge thank you to him. Of course, like I said, you guys will be seeing content of me prepping the Z, getting the cage ready, and actually installing it. So look forward to that. So that sums up the last actual day of Drift Week. Like I said, that happened after the last track day. We left the track and went straight to Cage Kits. After we left there, we drove to a small town on the outskirts of Utah. We were really close to Zion National Park. Stayed in a really cool little Airbnb tucked up in the mountains. We were in the snow. It was a really cool little spot. And then after that, we got up in the morning and drove to Vegas. But before we drove to Vegas, we had to stop because I really wanted to wash the Z. I was dreading the fact that it was sitting on the trailer covered in mud and snow and things like that, and just getting caked on the car. It still looks terrible and it still needs a bath, but I really wanted to get that top layer of stuff off before it settled in. So that's what this B-roll is here. This was a little car wash on the border of Utah and Arizona that we found. Popped a couple quarters in the machine and cleaned the Z up. Yeah, boy. After the car wash, we drove for an hour or two to get to Vegas, had a nice lunch, didn't film any of that. And then from there we drove home. It was about another 4 hours or so in the truck. And we finally made it home pretty late on Friday night. And that's this footage here of just us unloading the car and kind of chatting it up in the garage. As you can see, we were both super tired and kind of delirious. It was a really long 2.5 weeks, but man, it was some of the best times I've ever had.
Okay, back.
back home. Yay!
His enthusiasm sounds extremely genuine.
Drift week is over.
Yay! I'm gonna do a damage report. Look at this. Mud, a zip tie, side skirts busted up underneath the vinyl. This is a real dent, but not in a bad area. New hatch because it broke the back glass. Door caved in. Was that the Naoki door?
That was part of the Naoki crash, yeah.
Oh, and the fender is has been inverted here. But honestly, you did an insane number of laps for this small amount of damage.
Safe.
No tie rods bent.
Nothing. Which is really crazy to think about, honestly. I brought like 4 or 6 spare tie rods. I brought a lot of spare parts and I didn't use any of them. This car's amazing. Good car. Good car.
And that brings us to today. Like I said, back in the garage, back home, and that pretty much closes out Drift Week. I am still going to be doing a little like review and recap style video just because I kind of want to talk about it a bit more and fill you guys in on some of the details that a lot of people don't talk about of what Drift Week really entails. So look forward to that content. But as far as the actual days of Drift Week, I would say this sums it up. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the content. It was a lot of work to get it out while on the road, but it definitely opened my eyes to show myself what I'm capable of, and that was a lot of fun. Anyways, I'm going to close out this video here. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and of course, I will catch you in the next one.